Hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Build It. And here we are continuing to move forward here at the Quarry build. This little penthouse thing, or I don't even know what this is at this point. More of a headquarters, almost like a base. Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna fill majority of this and what I want to put in here. But that is kind of half the fun, is figuring that out as we go. So I'm also contemplating going down a level to have more either storage or maybe even more rooms or something like that down below. So that's why I put in this elevator here. And I think this episode I'm just gonna keep going and kind of working on stuff as I see needed, because I'm all over the place at this moment, because I do want to work on this elevator, but I do want to try maybe something different in that hallway leading over, and I want to figure out what I'm going to do in that back area there. Okay, as I said, I wanted to maybe try something different in that hallway there, so it's not just that Creation Club wood. As much as I love it, I just don't want the entire base or headquarters type thing being that lighter wood. So let's see if I can find a texture here. And these are pretty flat and simple. No, just more of a texture skin, like a rug. A lot of options here. Most of which aren't really what I'm thinking. I don't want it dirty, and I don't want it too much of a pattern. Some kind of tile, maybe these white wall tiles or what kind of look like floor tiles as well, or will work for that. I have to put it over here so I can grab it. There's my quappa. I always forget where I leave my, there it is. I always forget where I leave my quappa, and a lot of times I'll have to just get a new one. So then I've got 4 or 5 just wandering around. Let's see if we can grab this here. I'm hoping I don't have to go all the way to the top. There we go. So I'm thinking this white tile down the hallway, just kind of separate this room here, which will probably be like the kitchen area, kitchen dining area. And then have the tile going down the hall into the new area. Thought that might be kind of cool. Do the white tile. So let me lay down these tiles really quick, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, I think it looks pretty decent as far as just having plain white tile, and it does separate these areas, creates a good flow from the kitchen area down into this other area. So I'll probably go with it for now. I don't know if I'll change it, but what do you say we leave that and keep working? I'm gonna grab a couple more chunks of marble to clean off that one wall there. Now that we have the tile laid down, I think I can square off and just finish off that area right before we get into the secondary side of this build. So I'll put this as a wall piece in the back there and kind of clean that off, give myself a good, line that up, a good edge there as we lead into the new room. Just like so. I think that looks pretty good, and I'll probably add in some more here. So I'm just gonna fast forward through that because you've seen me place these a million times. I'm gonna drop these in, and then we'll keep going. Okay, so with that set, I'm going to jump back on this elevator here and start cleaning that up a little. What I mean by cleaning it up, I'm just trying to cover up some of what appears to be kind of dirty and maybe not the texture I want. I want something cleaner, and once again, that's why I wish I had something institute-wise elevator, which would be great. For now, I'm just going to do this, and I'll probably use more of this gray flat stucco-like wall and start lining the elevator with one of these. Just just to clean it up a bit. And it clips through some of the elevator, I realize that, but this is kind of my only option. I could use some of that white paneling wall stuff. I really like that. That's new, obviously from the S'more mod. But I think the interior of the elevator, since the outer room is probably going to be all that, I can't seem to grab this thing. Try this one. There we go. Yeah, since the inside of this room is probably going to be all that white paneling, I want to change it up a bit, and that way just line this up the best I can so the inside of the elevator at least has all this gray stucco-ish wall texture, and then on the outside I'll probably do the white paneling. I'll probably leave that marble in the back too. I usually have pretty good luck grabbing these without just depends where I put it. As long as it's not snapped to something else, I can usually grab it. I have a harder time when they're already snapped in, but let me try this one here again. So you can see my frustration or how long it takes to do some of this, especially since flat ground where I'm able to actually grab these easily is way up top. That's why you have to build all the stairs and scaffolding going all the way up just to grab these. It just makes everything so time consuming just to place a single wall. So I wish there was a better option for that, but right now, that's all I've got. So line this one up. And as you can see, I'm not covering up the entire thing, but I am giving it a cleaner wall in the back. That doesn't look as bad, I think. So we'll go with this. It's kind of the gray stucco there on the sides. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that back wall. I probably should, because it looks unfinished with the marble there, but we'll see. Should probably put in some doors too, I think. Okay, so I'm going to grab another marble piece and start figuring out the hallway, or at least the ceiling part of that hallway leading into the room. So I think the hallway might be lower. If I can do raised ceilings in that main area there, that would be pretty cool. Because I do have the space height-wise. Because once I deleted all that quarry stuff, it did open up that whole area. So I'm thinking I'm going to take advantage of that and maybe make the ceilings higher, I'm hoping, or a little bit higher. Not necessarily something as high as 2 levels, but maybe just enough to break the 2 rooms up. So I'll grab this one here. And we'll use this piece here to establish the hallway area when it comes out. Because with this one, once it's lifted up, we'll clean up that edge there. Let's drop it in. So right about here is where we'll enter the room. I could raise it up just a little. To break up that marble, rather than lining it up exactly with that one coming in from the hallway. It just looks better. That should do it. I like that. Next thing I'm going to do, I want to put a light in there, so I'll probably use this from the Slocum Joe's Creation Club. I wish it wasn't all dirty, but I do like the light. This 4-squared light that automatically lights up. That'll work perfect here in the elevator. I'll figure out something to cover up that pink and yellow on the edge, but I can't quite center it the way I want, but I think it'll work. I just don't want it to stick through that one wall. That looks pretty good, and it also creates a little bit of light in the elevator, so even if I do put the doors on, that'll give it a good effect. Let's grab some more of these white panel pieces and start establishing our walls here on the edge. I can already tell I'm going to be using these a lot. I really like them because they're clean. I mean, they definitely work really well for the pre-war look. That's kind of what I'm going for in this build, I guess, at least in this area. So line that up with that wall. So I'll probably just start the paneling all the way as you come into the room. Get rid of this stucco one. Now hopefully these should snap. Make my life a little easier here. There we go. Nice. I love it when they snap and they go in so quick like that. You can just fill that space really quickly. So I can already tell the size of this room is pretty big, so kind of tinkering around with some ideas in regards to what we're going to do in this room. And I might have to divide the room up, is what I was thinking, because it is a pretty good sized room on its own, although I could probably fill it. So let me put this one in here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like rooms where people stay, or maybe that's downstairs and up here is more of a hangout area. I was also thinking maybe that other room back there might be an office, so this could be, some kind of training area. One thing I do know is I want to clean off the walls and figure out how far I can go. So for example, put this as far back as I can before things start clipping through it. That'll kind of give me an idea of what I have to work with. So that's about as far as I can go on that end. So we'll snap this one in here, and that's pretty close. Could just wind up doing that. Interesting angles. I could angle that one, just have it line up with that hallway. That back wall I think I need to do, but it wants to do the reverse snap, so I'll have to copy that in. And it's not going to let me grab it, of course. Sometimes the pole goes down into the floor, and if I raise it up just to the point where it almost comes off the floor, sometimes it'll let me grab it. It's real touchy like that. So I'll line this one up here. Then those should snap to this one, like so. And that leaves us that corner there that I will probably leave like it is with that rock. Although I wish it was a better texture looking. Maybe I use my own rocks for that, or maybe that's marble. Or create something in that space basically to cover that is probably what I'll do. And drop in some of these ceiling pieces. And obviously I'm just gonna go with this single level because the wall pieces are a little bit taller. They're more like the warehouse walls, so a little bit higher, gives you a little bit more space than the shorter walls. And luckily most of these are snapping in, so that I like that. Some of these over here on the end and the edge will have to quap in, but at least we can establish the ceiling and get an idea of the size of the room. Okay, I'm gonna grab a few more marble pieces, clean those walls and edges up, and just establish the room. Clean it all up, and then I can figure out from there, once I have a clean room, we'll figure out what we're gonna put in it. So what do you say we jump on that? I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, now that we got that whole area cleaned up, and now we know the size of the room, all the edges, ceiling are in, I now want to figure out what I want to do in regards to the door. I think I want to put one of these vault doors, one of these big automatic sliding vault doors. I'll set one of these down just so I can actually get the door, because it won't let me set the door by itself. So we'll snap that in, and then Quappa grab the actual door. That way we can place it wherever we want, and then build around it without needing that other vault piece to hold the door. We'll just Quappa it in and build around it. Kind of prefer doing that anyways. Allows you to kind of customize your build a little more. Drop this in here to get access to that other area. And then we'll fill those gaps either with marble, some of the marble stairs, or maybe some of those other vault pieces. But at least we got the door in. I think it looks good. I like how it separates that hallway from this room, and it's inset a little, so it's not right on the edge of the room. So I'm going to go with the marble and clean off this area so it looks like it's carved into the rock here. Just want to line this up, and this will stick through to the other side, but we'll finish that one off as well. But at least from this side, I think the best bet is to use the marble, clean those off, and then on the other side we'll just make the hallway a little bit smaller, just so we can finish off that spot where we added the stairs that stick through, because we're going to see the stairs on the other side. But that's no problem, because we'll just cover it up with something. Okay, these pieces of marble I'm just adding to this one wall. I wanted to clean off the edge here and add these in. As I was putting them in, I realized if I drop them down a bit, I could just use them maybe as a shelf to maybe put some stuff on and make it look as though it's built into the rock there. So that's why I'm dropping those in. I also think using these vault corners, which are a good way to clean off corners and edges, we'll use these just so I can clean off that edge there of that shelf thing that we made. So we'll drop this in here on the edge. That way we can separate the shelf section back into the rock, or even more textured wall, which is probably what I'll do. I'll bring this out just enough so when I put in a wall there, it'll cover that exposed rock. I will grab one of our gray stucco walls, and we'll use that to separate this wall area and clean off this edge that creates that little shelf area. So by dropping this in right here on the edge, exposing just a little bit of this, that looks pretty cool. Grab one more, finish off that other side, line it up here with our floor so it's the right angle. Drop that in. Like that. Sticks out a little too much. Let me put this in just a little. Something like that. Might have to adjust the other one, but I think that looks better with it inset just a little so we can see that metal edge or corner. Maybe we can put some plants or something up there, or maybe even a TV if it winds up being like a entertainment room. I think I'm gonna put another marble piece up here up top. Have it stick out about the same amount. Then maybe I can put lights up there, but then it gives this little section here very kind of built-in look. Like it's cut into the rock that way. So let me drop in a few more of these and we'll clean that up. So on this, I've decided to change the texture of the hallway. That is going to be a secret room, and I'm thinking this is going to be some kind of gun vault or weapons vault. So I want to use this floor texture as I think it'll work better here, walking into that vault area. And I'm just thinking vault because it's such a long, skinny area that I'm building into. I just think it works better to maybe house a bunch of weapons or something like that. We'll put in like a security door or something like that. I don't think I have any good hidden doors. Like there's the hidden bookshelf thing, but there's no books on the shelf. So that just looks weird using that, and kind of depends too what this room is. So I think maybe, keypad entry to get inside of it, but it's not necessarily a flat out hidden vault. But this will definitely be a more secure weapons room back here with this hallway leading into it, which I think will work perfect. So I'm just going to lay in all these floor pieces just so we can figure out our vault space here. Now I got my floor in. I think I want to clean it up a bit and put in some of these Christian Club wood walls here, which will look nice. And also, if I'm mounting guns on the wall, these always look good because they almost look as though you can hang stuff on these walls. But I do like the different texture colors compared to the marble and the floor. So we'll just add these in and figure out where the end of this vault is, where the walls stop. So we'll do something like that towards the end, which gives us some decent space to put weapons in. It is a really odd shaped vault, but I think it'll work for what we're doing here. So I'm going to put these walls in and jump forward. with all the walls and ceiling pieces in and establishing all that, I think it's working just the way I want it. Just want to add in some lighting here. I think I'll use some of these fancy lights to light up the vault. I might need more than this, but I do like the raised ceiling. Put 4 of these in just to keep it even here. So pretty decent vault, and all along those walls we can put weapons, maybe even have workstations. Because if you have weapons, you definitely got to have areas to fix them or build them or repair them. So we'll add those in here as well and just create this kind of like an armory type thing where you can build and repair weapons. I do want to lay in the ceiling parts for this vault area, mainly the hallway. I want to figure out what I'm doing with that. I think the hallway I want low. So as you're coming into the gun vault, it opens up into the raised ceiling. So I think I'll keep the ceiling lower as you come in and keep the gun vault area a raised ceiling. Okay, that's what I was going for, is that long, lower, more confined hallway that opens up into this big room in here, which will be the weapons storage area and repair and build area. So we got plenty of wall space and room for all that. We might even have room for maybe a little computer station. So all of this is maybe some kind of tactical room. Probably have room for that, but it definitely looks like it's carved into the rock, which keeps with our whole theme within this quarry build. And leading into that vault there, I put my wireless power controller there. In some of my other builds I will hide those, but then later in the build I may need to turn it on and off to get some of those mod lights to work again, and I forget where I put my switch, just out in the open, so I do know where it is so I can access it. So this room, I'm thinking more and more, because that's the gun vault, this might be an office area or a major map room or computer room that then leads then to the weapons room, something of that nature in this space. But I do want to figure out what I'm doing back here in this area here, because there's things I want to do, but do they necessarily make sense as a whole on the build? Probably not. I don't think much of this build, now that I think about it, is going to make much sense other than I just want to build it, and it is what it is. So we'll keep figuring out some more of this stuff here, figuring out something to put in this area here, because this is pretty open, but it's more of a hallway or a foyer before you get into this other area. So I might put something in there. I don't think we want like a security desk or something like that. I don't think that's what this build is. Maybe some kind of giant piece of art or something like that is what I'm thinking. But we'll figure all that out in future episodes. And figuring out what we plan to do inside of this area here, which is a pretty large area to work with, and figure out how to fill this space. Still not sure exactly what I want to do. Once again, like I said, things I want to do don't make sense, but they will be a nice way to fill the room. So that's why I'm thinking I'm kind of to the point where I'm just going to build and fill these spaces with what I want to build and not necessarily worry too much about how much it makes sense, because most of my builds don't make sense anyway. So let's just go with that. But as far as this episode goes, let's cut that out here, and we'll catch up on the next one. So thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, keep building.